to do. But anyways, Christian, so you're gonna go down to this Superhost for a Airbnb.
Airbnb Superhost,
and they got chicken. They got chickens, I think, right?
Yeah, they have a farm in the back, goats, chickens. They have a pool in the back. It's a nice ass spot.
What are you gonna like?
Can you get me with some water?
Are you gonna like pet the chickens and stuff and like?
Dude, I'm gonna make sure they lay
a bunch of eggs. Drink them raw.
That's good. Thanks.
Yeah. So, that's the plan. That's the plan for the next week, I guess you could say. And then you're back there. I'm here. We got to plan a trip to, I don't know, Dubai. You don't need a vaccine card.
Yeah.
I know for sure Dubai. I don't know.
Romania, you don't. Romania, you just need a quarantine for 5 days. So I think the first trip though, when I come back on the 21st, on the 20th, you should come. You should come down.
What's the date
next
today?
week?
14. Say today 14, so the 20th would be.
Come down from.
Well, you're going back that Sunday. What if I came? If I came over the 25th, so a week later,
or we both go down the 19th.
I don't want to come back on a Sunday though.
Why?
It's a work week.
What do you mean?
Well, Sunday is a. We get back on the Sunday. We get back to your spot on Sunday.
No, I'm saying we leave on Friday.
This Friday?
Is that not a good? Maybe no.
Is that not a good? I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's fine. We'll figure that out. But we definitely want to go to Dubai. Maybe Dubai, Bucharest, no doubt.
Yep.
That's where I want to go in the next year. Like I feel like there's only so much time you can do this stuff, and with so many things, so many issues, and how the world is right now, you got to go do it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No, I agree.
And actually, by the way, so I didn't give out that. So if someone who subscribes, screenshot that you subscribe, post it on your story, comment.
It has to be a YouTube subscribe.
Yeah, and I will give you guys a $150 airfare credit when you show that. So the first person to do that, and I promise you, I'll do it. I have it for you, but you guys just got to prove that you actually did it. And I'm happy to give it away.
Prove it. Tag us in it.
Because if not, I'll be using it. This next weekend.
Yeah.
You know. But anyways, what do you got anything else on the plate you want to talk about? I think this is like a good intro video for you being here. But what type of topic did you want to talk about?
What about we could talk about family? You know, the fact that so last week we talked about tribe, right?
Yeah, we talked about tribe.
So the other day we were thinking about, two things. The first thing is the fact that, before you go try changing the world, and I think everyone should have that aspiration, I think you gotta shift the class of your family, meaning the class.
Yeah.
If you're a middle class, your goal should be getting your family to high class.
Yeah.
So I think that's super important. People are focused on trying to change the world
before they help what's
going on in their immediate area. I can't tell you how many people who are spending loads of money outside of their home, and they're not bringing that money into the home to build that. And I think that's the wrong mindset. Now, obviously, I do understand that the way to make money is to help the world, but where are you spending that money once you make it?
Once you earn it.
But then also the fact that I have a question for all the listeners. What would you do with $1 million today? And I encourage you to try to write out the math. Because
we did some really cool math
a few days ago. So why don't you talk about what we would spend our money on? Now, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, because the thing is, someone's gonna.
The point is that it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, so what I'm going to say is, when I do the breakdown of what I would do, people would be like, oh my god, I'm just going to put this out there, such a bad way to use money.
Yeah. Because
so little of it, like 10% of the money of the $1 million is used for actual, I guess you could say, what people would say, mature things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so number one, if I had $1 million, I'd be buying a Porsche Cayenne outright. That's facts.
Oh, of course.
And that's like, what, 120?
I don't know.
Let's just say 120.
I don't know if I'd buy it cash.
I'd buy it cash.
Personally.
I'd buy it cash.
Vasily would buy it cash.
I'd buy it cash. Then I'd do $100,000, or like 150 grand on a 4-family. So I'd put 20% down, avoid that PMI. On a 4-family, something that's 600 grand. So I'd buy a 4-family somewhere, probably southern Massachusetts, let's say Bridgewater, Taunton, wherever it may be. 4-family. Rent all 4 units out, cash flow a good amount because it's 20% down. Mm-hmm. Then I'd probably pay for 100 grand for 1 year of anywhere I want to go, private jet charter planes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 100 grand.
Yeah.
So now we got 100 grand for that, 120 grand for the Porsche, 150 grand for that. I put 100 grand in the savings, 200 grand in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I would do that. I would throw it in there because I think.
I thought you said Ethereum.
Well, Ethereum. Oh, sorry, not Bitcoin. I just mean crypto. 200 in Ethereum. Correct.
I mean, I do love crypto.
Yeah. I just think it's volatile, but like I put some money in. Listen, I had a dream the other day. I put $300 in Dogecoin. Okay, I put $300 in Dogecoin. I saw it skyrocketed for a minute, and then I tried to sell it, and I couldn't sell it. So then it shit the bed. So I put some money. That was a dream. So that next morning, I put some money into Dogecoin. So I would put money in the cryptos. Then I'd give money back to the family for sure. Mm-hmm. And from there, I'd just go travel anywhere I want, and spending stupid amounts on let's say in the club, buying bottles of stuff I probably wouldn't even finish.
Oh, of course.
Or I wouldn't even probably open, let's be honest. You only really need 1 bottle, and you'll buy 25 bottles, $1,000 a piece. You'll probably only drink 1 or 2, maybe. That's what I would do. That's the basis of what I would do. So the only smart, I guess you could say, the average person might say, is putting money in the bank and then also buying that 4-family, which I totally think is a good idea. But other than that, you can put some in there. Other than that, that's probably what I would do with $1 million, just off the top of my head. I don't know if I had it, if I actually would do that way. But Christian's going to go in and talk about it.
Talk about what?
What you would do with $1 million.
Oh, what I would do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so what I would do... Okay, and you have to realize that everyone's decision is going to be different based on their experiences. So what I would do, let me think. Okay, right off the bat.
I hand you $1 million today, and I say you can do whatever you want, no restrictions. And it's actually, we forgot to put this in there, it's taxed already.
Okay, so the first thing...
So you can spend all of it.
So the first thing I'm doing is I'm buying a house in Europe.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm buying a house in Europe because I'm not going to say it, but I don't want to live in the U.S.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in the U.S.
Long term at least.
Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut every tie I have with the U.S. into financial ties, what I'm talking about. So any debt, any financial tie I have with the U.S., I'm going to cut that. And any tie with anyone, like any debts, I'm gonna under the sun, I'm gonna make sure they're paid off. Mm-hmm. All those tolls, tolls from dude. I don't know how many tolls I have racked up, but I get so much shit in the mail that I don't even read that shit. I just start throwing them out. So, anyways, the next thing I do, is I would probably. Because a house in Europe, I'm probably only going to spend 200 grand cash on, right?
Yeah.
200 grand cash. The next thing that I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go on a trip. Because I think the best teacher is experience. And the best decisions that I would be able to make is when I'm fully basically incorporated into... a trip. So if I'm traveling for 6 months and I see so many different countries, I'm going to have a better idea as to what I would do with the rest of the money than right now, right here.
That's facts.
See what I'm saying? So first thing I'm going to do is I'll probably go for 6 months, travel, find out where I'm going to buy this European house.
Yeah.
Then,
and that will cost you what? It will cost you
probably 200, 300 grand, right?
To go travel?
Oh no! I mean,
oh my god!
Travel. I'll probably spend 100 grand right off the bat. So I'll have the million.
6 months. So 6 months. So let's say 200. Let's say 200 grand for 6 months. We're talking about 33 grand.
200 grand for 6 months?
That's what you said.
I said 100.
You said 100, 200.
Okay.
Anyways, fine. It's
100 grand.
That's still like 15, 20 grand a month.
Yeah, and I'll travel to
a
lot of countries. They're not going to be anything in Western Europe. They're going to be all Eastern Europe. They're going to be Russia, Poland, Romania, Ukraine. It's going to be all these countries. I'm going to find a country that I'm going to buy a house in.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my entire family. So I'm going to first cut all the financial ties within myself. And what I mean by cutting them, I'm paying them off. Right?
Yeah, like there's no like connection.
There's no connection.
Imagine picking up all the debts you own.
Yeah.
Like even for the average person, there's like $20 debts out there. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
That no one can think of.
Tolls, everything. Just make sure I'm anything under the sun. Friends, everyone is paid off, right?
Yeah.
Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do that 6 months. Find the best place to live. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy a house in that best place.
Mm-hmm.
Third thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing for everyone in the family.
Find them, get them a place.
All the financial ties.
Oh yeah.
All the financial ties, and then bring them there.
Yeah.
And then build from there. That's what I would do. 1,000%.
That's actually pretty solid. That's a solid.
That's all I would do.
Yeah,
I wouldn't try to. I wouldn't try to. Build something more here.
Dude, you think? I think you need. Actually, when I think about it, I think you need cash to buy out a country. I got to do some research on that. I don't know if these banks over there will take it unless you go get a pre-approval from the banks over there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can get a pre-approval from a different country. I don't know. But yeah,
that's what I would do.
That's a good question. So what would you guys do? $1 million deposited in your account tomorrow, tax-free. It's been taxed already. Someone handed it to you, and you do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. Me personally, I think differently than most. I think some shit's about to go down all the freaking time.
Yeah.
I think in terms of if it's going to be like a civil war or it's going to be like...
Ray Dalio said it's going to be a civil war.
Yeah.
Ray Dalio.
Yeah, you're right. He did. And so it's not coming out of left field. Like this is
not
something
like that far. It's far-fetched, but not that far-fetched.
Right. This is not
conspiracy theorists.
It's not conspiracy theorists. I really think that I mean if you guys have seen the Freedom Convoy in Canada, there's people from communist countries like Poland, or I really don't know much about geography or what communist countries there
communist countries.
But
I don't think there's no right? I don't think there's actually any successfully fully communist countries, but
there's people coming from communist countries that said they left the communist countries.
This girl I was out the other day. She said like, what'd she say about it? She said something like
Vietnam.
Huh? Saturday?
Is it the Vietnam?
Yeah, Vietnamese. She said something about. I mean, like now the United States is just so much better just because it's not communist. Like the difference between communist and non-communist like lifestyle overall is enough for you to just take your life and go somewhere else. Think about that. Someone literally moved, they'll just move, they'll risk everything and think it's better over here just because of the reason it's not communist.
Well, dude, think about it. That's what I kind of did.
Yeah.
From Florida.
Yeah. Boston to Florida.
Yeah,
Massachusetts.
I was like, I just want to be more free than I currently feel like I am. And also, another thing that I was just thinking about the $1 million cash thing. If you have $1 million cash, already taxed, and then you, the first thing, like I told you guys, that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get a part of a network of high caliber people. And that does not cost that much. Second thing I'm going to do is like I told you, I'm going to travel. Because I'm going to have a better state of mind seeing how people are living,
where you want to live,
everything like
how
that.
you want to live.
I don't think people are thinking big enough because people have $1 million now. They are making $1 million.
They're still not doing anything.
And they're not doing shit. It's sitting.
You know what I think?
Or it's doing.
I don't even know. I don't even know if these countries if they have like property tax or anything.
Dude, I don't know. I really don't know.
Even know
but
if they tax them like that.
What you don't know.
You'll never know unless you go experience it.
You don't know. So I mean, just what the hell? Like, are you telling me that life is so much better here than some place where they don't have internet just because we have freaking internet or something like that? Like, I'm just saying, like, what you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
You could go to some place
that has no internet.
That has no internet. People are living better. You know, it's almost like the saying where, like, oh, you know, well, I know some people that have gone to Singapore, right?
Mm.
I think it's one of the most wealthy cities.
I think Singapore. I think it is. Yeah.
But who knows about Singapore? Who's been to Singapore that you know in your circle, right?
Yeah, no.
So what you know is limited to your network. If you don't know anyone who's lived in Singapore or any of the other 200, I think there's 200 like locations, or I don't know if it's countries or but like nations or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever. It's something like countries.
It's whatever. Fact check.
Then you wouldn't know. So how are you really going to know what you do with $1 million? Mm-hmm. Because if you spent that $1 million and then you find a location where you could be so happy, you and your family could be safe, happy, well off, and everything else, and like completely, set, like.
Did you go to Colombia with $1 million? I mean, I can tell you, someone just came back from Colombia. And I think the currency is pesos, and it's like tens of thousands of pesos for dollars. Mm-hmm. For dollars. So I don't know. You're right. I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know
what you don't know. So you got to find out. Mm-hmm. One thing that I know from networking. Think about this. Ready? Mm-hmm. If I never moved at 19 to California, I would not be the same person I am today.
No.
And same with you. If you never moved,
if I never moved,
you know what I mean?
At 17.
At 17. Like, imagine if you at 17, or me at 19, went and lived with Elon Musk for a week. Would our lives be different today? Mm-hmm. Way different.
Way different. Yeah.
For a month, we lived with Jeff Bezos at 19. How would our lives look like right now? Or a chancellor in some European country, we lived with them for a month at 19. What would our lives look like? So what you don't know, you don't know. And if you're going to stay in your bubble and you don't meet new people, what if somebody, because this is the worst, when you spend the amount of money that you find out then that somebody else spent the same amount of money on something way better.
That's the worst.
Is the worst. So if you have $1 million, one guy spent it on 300 units, and the other guy spent it on a Cayenne, a house, and all this other shit. That guy's living,
Yeah, I want to get a variety.
So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, it's a great question. I got to find out more.
Yeah.
I got to find out more. And until you find out what the best, because there are some people, I mean, that two people can start out with $10,000. One person becomes a millionaire. The other person is broke forever.
Yeah, it's facts. It's just a couple decisions until...
A couple decisions. Just a couple decisions. I mean, I told you, like,
it's crazy.
Everyone at my complex that I've talked to have lived there for years. This is the most depressing place ever. The amount of violence at this place is unbearable.
What do you hear?
Some nights you can't sleep because there's so much, violence. And people, yet they still, because of the apartment complex, it's ran by a person much smarter than them. Mm-hmm. And that's how you win in life, because, I'm not saying that you take advantage of people. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that you have to give yourself the best bet at being successful. We started this podcast talking about the fact that I have had no distractions and nothing holding me back, no one holding me back, and I'm still grinding every single day to, get deals and close deals.
Yeah.
And the same person has all these distractions, has all these people holding them back, and the whole goal is to give yourself the best chance. So if you're living in a crappy place, stop giving yourself excuses as to why you have to live there. Oh, because it's cheap. Oh, because this. Oh, because that. Dude, go live in a house in a better area.
Experience how that does what it does for your business.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
Go live in a better area, but only have a room instead of an apartment. Only have a room. Watch. Guarantee you will do better than when you had a full apartment.
How long can you stay there for?
As long as you want. There's so many. There's no reason for people to be unsuccessful. And now I know for sure. I know for sure because I've lived at the worst of places. I have investors that own the worst of places, and I've talked to the people at the worst of places. And what I can tell you is that those people is that they aren't looking up; they're looking down
or forward, probably just straight.
Yeah, or they're looking straight. They're not thinking, "Hey, what if I spend a little more on a better place to live so that I can work more efficiently?" But they're thinking,
how can I spend less?
How can I spend less so that I have a little extra, a little extra at the end of the month, so that I can go out more and go spend more and go get these shoes and all these things.
It's so turned around from the truth, is what it is. But like, it makes sense why someone would believe let's spend less. I get it,
dude. It only takes one book to realize you shouldn't be doing that. Read one 10x book. One, be obsessed or be average, and your mindset is shift.
Yeah.
Obviously, it takes time reading that same material.
You gotta make little. You gotta make little jumps.
Make a little adjustments.
Eventually, when like money is no longer like,
dude, I don't care if you're living in the worst of areas. You're gonna see a Lambo pass by one sooner or later, and if you don't get inspired, you're not gonna change your life.
Yeah.
If you see the Lambo go by and you say that guy's a scam artist, or that guy's a bad guy, or I'll never get that.
Oh, this is like Andrew Tate's story a little bit.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
I lived in the worst of towns in Tampa, and I've met and talked to the people. They're not bad people. They just don't look up. They don't look up. They just look at things, everything how it is. They don't think
what it could be
about what it could be. And me, you, and Stefano, we talked about this past evening, is the fact that
was a job.
This is not the law of attraction that we're talking about.
No.
This is about reality, but you also being optimistic. Stefano said it himself. He said Elon Musk, he had Tesla and he had Solar City, right? And he said, hey, there's a good chance both of these are fail, but I'm going to be optimistic. And I'm going to go for both of them.
Both of them to work.
And they were both very successful.
Yeah.
The same thing goes.
Guy in the world.
You want to get a better chance at being successful? You pick up a book. You stop listening to the people around you. Pick up a book that's actually doing what you want to do. I don't care if you're in the worst of positions, but you can get out of that. You can get out of that.
I like that.
It really, there's really no reason. There's no reason. I don't care if your IQ's low, because that's really the only reason.
Yeah.
If your IQ's low, okay, maybe you have a little reason, but I don't care where you started.
Yeah.
I don't care where you started, because I started from nothing too, and there's really no reason. The only reason would be that you have a low IQ. You're literally
incapable. Yeah.
But even that, it's not complicated.
No. I mean, Les Brown, for example, he's very low IQ.
I think he's had cancer for 30 years, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But he's, unbelievable. He's an unbelievable speaker.
Yeah.
But, Christian, I think that's honestly a good place to end it.
Let's do it.
To be honest, yeah. So, subscribe. I'll give away that airline credit if you guys subscribe, repost, leave a comment.
Dude, this is going to be a different dynamic because people see us together.
Yeah.
They've heard us.
Facts.
Saw us on Zoom. It was different.
Saw us on Zoom? Saw us on Zoom.
Saw us on Zoom.
So you guys subscribe. Christian's gonna be here for the next week. We're gonna make a couple more.
Yeah,
and maybe
dude, I'm excited for. We should do a vlog style in Boston.
Dude, getting tattoos. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how bad it's gonna hurt.
It's understandable. It's gonna hurt.
It hurts that bad. Dude, so many people get it. So many people get it.
It hurts, but it's dude.
I'm just picturing him just
Dude, there's mental. There's more mental toughnesses that we go through every single day.
That
are way worse.
Yeah.
At
least there's an end. There's a known end. There's a known end with.
There is a known end. Yeah.
With the mental stuff, there's not a known end.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So imagine this. Imagine the pain of you dealing with a client. But just for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, which I deal with, I have not dealt with that in over 2 years.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'll see you guys later. Christian, thanks again. And wait for this to be uploaded within the next 24 hours.
Let's do it.
Talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Bye. It's a good one, dude.
That was a good one.
Jesus, dude. I don't even know why. I only have to drink such a little bit and I get sauced.